Ever feel like you're just going through the motions, filling your days with stuff that doesn't really matter? There's an old story that might change how you see things. It is about a wise farmer who wanted to teach his children a lesson they'd never forget. A lesson about the true value of life. One sunny morning, this farmer gathered his children. He handed each of them a simple empty jar. "Today," he said with a warm smile, "I want you to go out into our fields. Your task is to fill this jar with whatever you can find. Bring it back to me by sunset." The children, excited by the challenge, rushed out. They spent hours exploring, their little hands busy. They picked up interesting stones, brittle twigs, and handfuls of rich, dark earth. By the end of the day, they proudly returned to their father, their jars filled to the brim with the treasures they had collected. The farmer looked at their full jars and nodded approvingly. "You've all done very well," he said. Then he surprised them with his next instruction. "Now take your jars down to the river and pour everything out." The children were confused. They had worked so hard to fill their jars. Why would they just empty them? They looked at each other, puzzled, but they trusted their father. So they went to the riverbank and watched as the stones, twigs, and dirt they had gathered tumbled into the flowing water and were washed away. Their jars were empty once again. The next morning, the farmer called them together, the same empty jars in hand. "Today, I have another task for you," he announced. "Go to the river and fill your jars again. But this time, I want you to fill them only with water." This task was much simpler. The children ran to the river, dipped their jars into the cool, clear stream, and returned in no time, their jars now heavy with sparkling fresh water. They set the full jars before their father, waiting to see what he would say. The farmer gathered them close and pointed to the jars of water. "These jars," he began, his voice gentle but firm, "are like your lives. Yesterday, you filled them with stones, twigs, and dirt. When you poured them out, you were left with nothing. Those things are like distractions, useless worries, and meaningless pursuits. If you fill your life with them, you'll find that in the end, you have gained nothing of real value." He then gestured to the jars filled with water. "But today," he continued, "you filled your jars with pure water. This water can quench thirst, it can help plants grow, it can clean and refresh. It has a purpose. This water represents good deeds, knowledge, and kindness. When you fill your lives with these things, your life doesn't just become full, it becomes valuable. It flows like this pure water, bringing happiness not just to you, but to everyone you touch." From that day forward, the children understood. They saw that their time and energy were precious, just like the space inside the jar. They began to work hard in the fields, not just as a chore, but as a way to contribute. They became eager to learn, asking questions and seeking wisdom. And most importantly, they looked for ways to help their neighbors and be kind to everyone they met. They learned that the true measure of a life isn't about what you can get out of it, but what you choose to put into it. This story makes you think, doesn't it? What are we filling our jars with every day? Are we collecting stones and twigs, mindless scrolling, pointless arguments, holding on to grudges? Or are we filling them with water, learning something new, sharing a kind word, helping someone in need, or working towards a meaningful goal? It's so easy to get caught up in the busy work of life and forget to be intentional. But just like the farmer's children, we have a choice every single day. We can choose to fill our lives with things that have lasting value, things that enrich us and the world around us. Each act of kindness, every moment spent learning, every bit of effort we put into something that matters. That's the good stuff. That's the pure water. So take a look at your own jar. What's in it today? If it's not what you want it to be, remember that you can always pour it out and start again tomorrow. You have the power to fill your life with purpose, with joy, and with meaning. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Let me know in the comments what you're filling your jar with. See you next time.